are ready to talk about part 2, which is going to be the last 2 attractions that we did while we were at Field of Screams in Mountville, Pennsylvania, so which is near Lancaster, obviously. Anyways, I had to throw that in there because I think I said Lancaster in the first, didn't clarify at this one. So anyways, so we did the Den of Darkness. It was pretty, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't like, I didn't get a whole bunch scared, but it was really well decorated and detailed and all that kind of stuff, which was cool. And so the Asylum line was insane. I guess everybody was wanting to go in that one because, I don't know, the Asylum's just creepy anyways, right? So they had it all decorated up like this asylum type place, and it was just like this big old looking house, but it was decorated like an asylum. And they had all these flickering lights outside, which made it kind of cool. And the line was so crazy by the time we got to do this one, and it was the second one that we done. And I swear to you guys not that we waited in line for 2 freaking hours to get into this one. That literally only lasted maybe 10 minutes. I don't know. So as far as the line goes, they do have VIP tickets that you can purchase for an extra 20 bucks. I told my husband that if we ever go to one of these things again, and like a #1 top rated one or whatever that's gonna have a lot of people there, we are going to make sure we have enough money to invest in the VIP tickets, because to wait in line that long is bizarre. And the fact that it was pretty chilly that night, it was kind of mist and rain a little bit, and my husband was kind of telling me, like, you know, how bad would it suck like if you got halfway through that line and had to go to the bathroom and you could not hold it and had to get out of line. Like, how bad would that suck? I mean, it was bizarre. So we were trying not to drink like a whole bunch because we didn't want to have to pee until after we got done waiting in line. We waited forever and a day, it felt like, and they had like this little stage up there in the asylum where these guys dressed up in costumes and stuff would come out and give and talk to you and entertain you for a little bit while you're waiting in line. And they were throwing out free t-shirts to everybody in the crowd, and I tried to catch one, but it was like way off, and I'm like, oh man, I really wanted a t-shirt. But anyways, we finally get there and we go in, and it's just kind of like, the first thing I noticed is like this girl's like clapping these things together that they put on you to revive you, to make you come back, the chakra things. Whatever those are called, I know what they're called, like the paddle shocks, whatever. She was like clapping those together, just being like all crazy, like hey, hey, ah, and just going like crazy. So those were like really loud. That was like the first thing we walked into, was like that, and I'm just like, oh, what the hell? And we just kind of went through there, and there was this room in particular that I really, really loved and thought was really, really cool and a great idea for anybody that was doing like a haunted house or anything. This would be scary, in my opinion. And I don't, for #1, I don't understand how these actors stay in these rooms with strobe lights, because after a while, wouldn't you get sick, or wouldn't you get tired of it flashing? Like, there are talented people, obviously, just to be able to stay in there with that. So, anyways, it was this room, and they had all these dummies like standing everywhere, and it was really gross. The theme was kind of like an asylum, obviously, so it was like these just really gross asylum patient looking people, but they were dummies standing everywhere. And then they had a strobe light in there, but the strobe light was going in slow motion to where it was blinking on for like a second and then would go right back off, and it was pitch dark. And there was also some real actors blending in with the dummies in there, moving around on you, so when the light would come back on, the actor would be in a different spot over here, and I mean, it was just freaky. Like, that actually freaked me out a little bit. So I was just kind of like, you know, trying to get my way out of there. And another thing that I absolutely hate in haunted houses is the so-called, what my crazy aunts, I think Betty called it that. My crazy Aunt Betty called it the vagina. So, it's basically that thing that's really, really tight that you have to feel your way through, and it's squeezing you, and it's pitch dark, and it's just like really tight, and you're trying to find your way through it. I hate that thing with all my heart and soul. I do not like that thing at all. My heart was like beating so fast because I told my husband, I was like, I do not want to go through this. I'm gonna have a panic attack or something, because like I can just feel it building up. Like, that actually scares me. So I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like to be tight spaces, any kind of stuff like that. So I just like literally ran through this thing. Like I was trying to get out of it because I couldn't, felt like, it makes you feel like you can't breathe and stuff, like if you are scared of that kind of stuff. So I was just like, let me out of here. So finally made it to the other side. My husband got there. It didn't even bother him. And I'm just like, how does that not bother you? Like that, it's just, don't like it. So anyways, that I don't like. There was this other room in there where they had like the Silent Hill. If you guys know what Silent Hill is, it's like the video game, the scary video game, and then they made movies about it. But they had the Silent Hill nurses dressed up in there, which I thought was pretty cool because I think those nurses are freaky looking anyways. So they had the nurses standing in there, but they were like dummies, and they had like some real actors in there too that I couldn't see. They were hiding. And there was also people somewhere down low on the floor because people were grabbing at my ankles, which I could not see, and I just felt people grabbing my ankles, and I'm like, ah! You know, like that scared me a little bit. And trying to think what else mainly creeped me out in that one in particular. There was a couple things that kind of caught me off guard in there. There was this thing, I also liked how they had things up above your head. Like they had some kind of scary dummy up above your head that was just kind of like shaking and going crazy. So you like look up and it's right there and you're like, what the? You know, it's just like, that kind of catches you off guard too. And I was just like, I don't know. So another really creepy part was the floor in this one. They had like it felt like literally you was walking on a waterbed. I don't know if that's what maybe they used, was half a waterbed or something and made it into that. But you walked on it, it felt like you were squishing down, but it felt like a waterbed or something. It felt like Jello. It was really, really weird. And I was just like, whoa, what the heck? And we could hardly even walk on it. So we got off of that. So that was a cool thing to have in there. And then we had another chainsaw guy at the end, of course, when we was coming out trying to get people and chase people. And those people that are really, really scared of that stuff were getting chased all the way out through the crowd into like where the concession stands were. Like that actor went all the way after them, which was kind of funny to watch. But yeah, so that was like pretty much my experience in the Asylum. So I like the Asylum better than the Den of Darkness. I did like it better than that one. I thought it caught me off guard a little bit more and scared me a little bit more. So the last one we decided to do was called the Haunted Hayride. And I was a little nervous because I was thinking the hayride that I've done before, like here in my town one time, it wasn't really all that. So I was just kind of like, didn't really know what to expect with it. And we started out doing it, and I think the first thing we come to was like this creepy like barn that had like it was pretty much like slaughterhouse themed, I think, and they had all these slaughterhouse pigs and stuff coming. They like shut you in this barn, and all these like pigs and stuff come down from the ceiling, and their lights flash in there, and they have music in there that makes it, you know, whatever, intense. And then they also have some butchers that come out of nowhere in there after it's like completely pitch dark in there. So they're allowed to get up on the hayride and like mess with people and do that kind of stuff. But me and my husband were in the middle of the hayride, which I didn't like. I wanted to be on the edge where, you know, I could probably get more scared that way. But we was in the middle, and nobody really messed with me a whole bunch other than I think a clown tried playing with my bun because I had my hair up in a bun, and he tried like playing with it, and I was just like, whoa. And like, you know, don't touch my hair, you know. But no, for seriousness though, that was pretty cool. They had that really detailedly done, and I liked how stuff come down from the ceiling to where it was literally almost touching your head. That kind of freaked you out a little bit, and stuff was moving. So that was really welly animated and done. I really like that. They had a creepy cemetery that you went through with actors in the cemetery, and they had another stage where this woman was like getting all sawed up and stuff, and then another woman was getting beheaded, and they did like a little acting like a little acting play or something there to like, they say, hey, you want to see this woman die? You want to see this woman die? And they were just kept like doing all kinds of different stuff. Like one was on one side, one was on the other, and it really looked like this woman got beheaded. Like the way that it dropped her down, and then her head come down, and her head ended up in this basket or something. It was pretty cool, like the way that they had it done. And then there was this part where there was like an insane guy up in this fencing, and he like jumped up on the fence, and the fence started to fall, looking like it was going to fall onto the hayride, but it stopped obviously before it got to us. But that was like, because you're just like, whoa, you just feel like it's gonna come down and hit you. So that was pretty cool too. I really liked the haunted hayride. And then they had a clown tent as well that we kind of went through, where obviously a lot of people are scared of clowns. I'm not scared of clowns, so like I knew when I saw the circus tent that it was going to be clown themed. And a lot of people in the hayride was like freaking out. There was these like high school boys, like 4 friends or something on there. They were just killing me. Like, I was so cracking up at them because they were just so scared. Like, this one boy kept saying, oh my god, oh my god, you know. It was so funny. I could not stop laughing at this boy. They were like really scared by everything. And I think the next part was like, after the clowns, was like, they had this little other building they shut you down in that was nothing, full of snakes. So if anybody's like terrified of snakes, which I don't like snakes, but I'm not like, I would be more freaked out by spiders than snakes. So they had this big electronical head in there of like a big old snake, and it was like coming out of the side of the wall at you. And the hayride was awesome. I thought, like, it was cool. It was well done, animated, and the different props that they had were awesome. They had like this train prop that like come out. It looked like it was gonna hit you while you was on the hay thing, and it just like stopped, and they had the music of a train and everything. It was pretty cool. Like, I definitely liked the hayride the best out of everything. So toward the end of the hayride, we got to where there was this huge vortex tunnel that we got to drive through on the hayride, which I've never done that before. It was awesome. It was like probably as big as like a room or something. It was so huge. And they locked us in there, and you know, it just makes you feel like you're like, oh, you're drunk and everything. And then we got out, and that was like the end of the hayride. And the last thing we got to do was actually walk through a vortex tunnel after the hayride, and it was an awesome vortex. Like, it was spinning really fast. My husband has never went through one like that, so he was just kind of like, oh my god, I didn't think I was gonna make it out. I was falling down. He's like, is that the floor moving? And I'm like, no, the floor doesn't move at all. It's just the wall that makes you look like you're falling over. So yeah, so that was our experience with the hayride. So after we was done with all that, we was pretty much like kind of hungry, and by that time it was almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So we decided to go to the concession stand and get something. We had a little bit of money left, and so we decided to get some bacon cheddar cheese fries, which were, can I just say, amazing. They wanted $8 for this freaking thing of fries, okay? We paid $8, but I'm almost thinking it was probably worth it for how good it was. Like, the cheese was so good and salty, and then they had bacon on it, and I was like, ah. They had so many different stuff to choose from, so we just tried those. So if you guys go, definitely try the bacon cheese fries, because they were really, really good. So yeah, I had a really positive experience at Field of Screams. I would give it a 5-star rating. It was very well detailedly decorated. They had these huge electronic props there as well. That was amazing. If I can find pictures, I'll insert those so you guys can see those. Huge props that would move and talk and do stuff, and it was just like, man, I bet they spent a lot of money for that stuff. So yeah, so that is my experience from Field of Screams. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please give it a thumbs up if you guys love Halloween like I do. We're actually doing a haunted house again this year in my local town, so I'm going to be an insane person in that. And so yeah, I love Halloween in general. I'm glad that I got to go and experience a haunted attraction this year, and I really, really enjoyed the one that me and my husband went to. And I would probably go back to it next year, but like, I like going to different ones that I've never been to before, just to experience different ones. So we'll see which one we go to next year. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a great, scary Halloween, and I will see you guys in my next video. I love you guys, and please subscribe to my channel. We are so close to 400 people, so let's do this, you know, let's do it. And I will see you guys in my next video. I love you guys. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up as well. I just had to throw that in. So yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.